I don't have any sort of patriotism in my heart
for
any, for America, but just in general.
A few moments later.
Roger, you seen this?
Oh yeah. Looks good.
Yeah.
这是什么呀？他录个视频。你是他导游？没有。Oh, the film. Stop. Okay.
Okay, well, today we got to bring you what genuinely might be the single funniest news story I've ever covered on the channel. And it has to do with the one and only Hasan Piker. Sorry, wait 1 second. Hasan Piker. Oh, Akaya, get ready to learn a Chinese today. Do not worry, it's just a vibrating camera. Oh, because, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who do not know who Hasan Piker is by now, he is the insane far leftist streamer who said things like America deserved 9/11. More recently, he said that the fall of the Soviet Union was actually a bad thing in human history, and was very controversial for essentially being best friends with Zoran Mamdani on the campaign trail, and later on Mamdani basically had to condemn and disavow the guy. Sound familiar? Yes, that very Hasan Piker this week decided it would be a good idea to go to China, basically for a propaganda tour. Now, hopefully he's not there to sample some of the culinary traditions, if you know what I mean, but besides that, he's essentially going to China to say that, oh, look, it's such an amazing, like, woke, free, socialist utopia. It's far left. America's so evil. Basically, he's here like, hello, my fellow socialist. I am a Hasan Piker. You want to welcome me? And then, to make a long story short, it's going exactly the way you would expect, because the Chinese are like, who are you? Who is this a foreigner? Get out of my country. Like, that's actually what's happening. Because, to make a long story short, thus far, the Chinese people basically, instead of welcoming him as this wonderful fellow communist, they essentially think he's a terrorist. Okay, they thus far, guys, have had the Chinese police shake him down and detain him in the middle of Tiananmen Square because they, again, think he's a foreign terrorist. They had to go and bug his hotel room, and they even now have gotten to the point where they're not allowing him to even stream in the country without receiving a pre-clearance to do his content from the government. So yeah, to make a long story short, it is not going all so well, and like, who could have seen this coming, surely? But you know, as they say, right, never meet your heroes. And I think that is a problem that a lot of Western leftists actually have, is as much as they want to glorify people like, say, Fidel Castro, Mao Zedong, Vladimir Lenin. The truth is, if the weird, like, hippie freak leftist types of today could go back and meet the actual Bolsheviks, right, Lenin, the Soviets themselves, the classical original leftists of history would be repulsed by whatever the heck this is now. And that's essentially exactly what happened in China, right? He goes there, they basically saw this guy and thought he was a Islamic terrorist, you know? It turns out they racially profiled him, but he sits here and calls America racist. It's just too good, guys. We'll tell you about all of what happened in today's video. First, though, do us a favor. If you enjoy our content, make sure you hit the like and you subscribe to the channel, okay? Greatly appreciate. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. And that said, all right, let us start off with what Hasan Piker was saying basically just early yesterday as he's going around again doing the propaganda tour in China. Oh, it is such an amazing socialist utopia. Oh, and he says the following, right? I don't have any kind of patriotism in my heart for America, while he's walking around Tiananmen Square in China waving a Chinese flag. So clearly you can tell, I mean, this guy is just such an upstanding American citizen, definitely someone who should be taken seriously in our politics, as he openly says these things. But that said, you know, he's about to get the reality check of his life while he's making these comments. So take a listen.
What makes it interesting for me, at least, is like seeing so many people from all around the country literally travel here just to see this.
That part is insane. Look how many.
Like, I just don't, like, I'm not, I don't have any sort of patriotism in my heart for any, for America, but just in general. I'm not like a very, you know, I care about people.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have patriot. What he's really saying is he doesn't like the 4th of July. He doesn't like rah-rah American culture. But when the Chinese do it, oh, it is so amazing. Look at how much they love it. They love their country. Oh, like, you know, it's just, this is like typical, you know, left-wing anti-Western BS. Whenever a non-Western country does it, it's good. Whenever the West does it, it's evil. But all right, let's take a listen to the rest of the anti-American garbage this clown has to say.
For me, it's like it's hard to comprehend.
Yeah.
But I do understand it in some ways, and I kind of wanted to talk to some of the people here because, like, all of the old people that you see around, right? You have to remember, every single person that you see around us, that's like, especially if they've been around, especially if they've been alive since like the 70s or the 60s, they have seen a radical transformation in their lifetimes, unlike any other country, right? So for them, I think there's a lot of pride in that.
Oh, really, Hasan Piker? You like the patriotism? Oh, well, but no, in all seriousness. So there you have on one hand, right? The complete moral inconsistency. Patriotism is bad in America because it's like colonialist and imperialist, but when it's in China, oh no, they see their country develop so much. It's so amazing. It's so good, you know, but okay, fine, whatever, right? We get it. Hasan is a communist. He's a rabid anti-American leftist. And of course, what is he here for? He's here to do, again, a propaganda tour to frame China as this amazing socialist utopia, which many leftists have done before him, but I would argue don't really understand the reason why, for instance, China is as clean or as safe as it is, but we'll talk about that later. But first and foremost, the reality check, I kid you not, comes the same exact day. As just a couple of hours while he's, you know, sitting here streaming and talking about how amazing I love it to China, the Chinese police straight up like detain the guy. As you can see, Hasan and his crew get stopped by Chinese security police while streaming in Tiananmen Square and get asked to look through the phones. Okay, check it out for yourself.
Roger, you seen this?
Oh yeah.
Look. Yeah.
这是什么呀？
他录个视频。
你是他导游？
没有。这是什么？
导游。
OK。
我是他导游啊。
他就过来，稍等一下。
是啊，你是导游啊？问问他那个，问问他那刚直播那什么东西？让他拿出来，给我看看。
OK。
What do you mean I cannot stream here?
Oh, I didn't take a photo.
Oh no! No, I like China. What are you doing? You are a terrorist. Sorry guys, I am just dubbing over this.
Record anything?
No, not yet.
No, 我都看见了。
Yeah, he said he's
直播还是什么呀？
Oh, I was holding the camera out, but I didn't do anything yet.
对，拿手机弄一背景，那是什么东西？把它打出来。
No recording.
刚才那个背景。
So if you want to see the background of your
Of my phone?
yeah.
Sure.
Or like a live show or
Other
yeah.
phone.
Oh. I have another phone.
Ah, sorry, they make us cut off the stream.
There, but my internet is not so good. Okay, we'll
On your-
flip it back. Okay,
the internet on your phone isn't good?
We're back.
We're just waiting for Will to get out of the bathroom now.
Yeah.
Which I wonder if there's a line to the bathroom.
Yeah, so you can't make that up, right? Here you have Hasan Piker, a guy who's built his entire career talking about how America is so repressive and authoritarian, it's Islamophobic, it's racist, it's this, it's that, they're after him. Some of you may remember just a couple months ago, the guy had a full-blown meltdown because he was coming back into the country and the passport control basically took him in for secondary screening, and he said, it was political persecution because they double-checked my passport and Trump is after me and blah, blah, blah. So he goes to China and he's like, okay, Shirley, look, what's up, my fellow woke socialists? You all want to go and sing Kumbaya and have free healthcare with me? And the Chinese are basically just like, no! Who are you? Who is this a foreign mongrel in our land? They probably thought he was a Uyghur. They probably thought he was a Uyghur Muslim. Oh, That's too good. Okay, but that said, I do want you to listen to Hasan Piker's explanation of what actually happened in Tiananmen Square, not in 1989, but rather in 2025, right? Because apparently, he goes on to explain that, and I kid you not, right? I'm not making it up. Long story short, the reason they detained him for streaming is because they were straight up racially profiling him. But then he's about to say, right, that actually it's a good thing. It's okay because, as I said, the moral inconsistency, it's okay when the Chinese are quote unquote racist, but not okay when America is. Okay. All right, take a listen. This is his explanation again of why he got detained.
Whenever the police showed up, they thought, so that thing that we went to, okay, the flag raising ceremony it's not in focus. Hold on, I'm gonna fix it. The flag raising ceremony that we went to is not a thing that white people normally go to, right? It's not normally something that like white people attend, right? And I assume that they are probably extra attentive and extra careful about people coming to do some fuck shit. Like, there's a reason why, for example, there were Chinese nationals on each other's backs, right? But I knew that, like, if we did it, we would get called out by cops.
So what you're saying is that they were racially profiling you. Again, they actually came after you because you were not Chinese and they were inherently suspicious of you, and that's why the police stopped you. Now, that said, right, in America, especially if it happened in this way, basically they're just like, oh, that person is a different race, let's detain them and go through and search their stuff. Hasan Piker would have a complete meltdown. He would, of course, say America's so racist, it's evil, it's repressive. But when his beloved China does that to him, he's like, oh, they racially profiled us, but I understand it. All right, listen to his next excuses here.
Because, like, by and large, especially, like, the government is aware of, like, how they are perceived or how much, like, anti-Chinese propaganda exists out there. And I think the older people are also aware of it as well, but I think the younger populations in China are, ironically enough, less aware. Like, the younger normies are less aware of the animosity that exists, which shouldn't exist at all, obviously, but unfortunately does. And it's almost entirely one-sided. It's entirely designed by America.
He says, as they literally detained him, he says, he's like, the Chinese don't hate the Americans. Only the Americans hate the Chinese. Did you just see what they just did to you, buddy? Did you see?
Well, yeah, we're white. So as foreigners in China at this like national event rather than an international one, where as you guys noticed, like they didn't have any like foreigners there at all. He thought he saw something on the phone. Like he thought we were like making a mockery. You know what I mean? They didn't realize that we were swagged out white boys who love China. Are you being careful with your words? No, I'm just telling you like it is. Like they thought they were being extra attentive to make sure that no one is making fun of Mao or anything like that or the ceremony, and that's what they were that's what it was. It's normal for police to take close to foreigners to make sure that white people don't do stupid shit. Yeah, it's just it's a cultural difference, and also they just don't want anyone to pull a fucking Logan Paul or anything like that. How was it resolved? What do you mean?
It's just a cultural difference. He says it's just a cultural difference that the police, first of all, are, according to him, straight up racist. And then secondly, notice what he said. So the police don't want any foreigners coming to their country to insult like their government or their country or their heritage or their traditions, right? That's basically illegal. To which I say to Hasan Piker, that's really interesting. That's really, look, maybe they have a point, especially in regards to you, in regards to Mehdi Hasan, and in regards to Zoran Mandani. It's like these people are so pro-China, okay? If America had the policy of China, that they don't allow foreigners to come to their country and insult it, you wouldn't be having such a good time, buddy, It's like, maybe the Chinese have a point with this. All right, let's keep listening here, though.
We just like talk to them. We just were like, no, that's not, we're not doing that at all. We're just here to
such an idiot.
I told you would end up in jail. You got lucky this time. Yeah, okay, calm down. That's not. You're being ridiculous. This is actually one of the things that I want to show Americans in general, because like people have this like false notion that it's like they will arrest you for a meme or whatever. It's not like that at all. Okay, calm down. It's funny because like I've dealt with cops at this point all around the world, as you guys know. So as far as like cops that I've dealt with all around the world, European cops in France, American cops, just European cops in other European countries, and even Japanese cops as well, I will say that it's not even remotely up there. The further west you go, the worse cops get, the more aggressive they get. America being the worst one out of all of them.
So the American police are worse than the police in China who just straight up racially profiled Hasan Piker. Yeah. Okay, got that, buddy. Which is just like, okay, dude, you know, you're coping. It's off the charts. What can we say? What I would say to Hasan is that if you love it so much in China, why don't you stay there? But in total fairness to the Chinese, they're making it pretty clear they don't want you there. You know, they want you to leave. They want you to leave as soon as possible. And there you are pretending like they love me so much, like they literally hate you. But okay, all of that said, again, I will repeat. I think that the Chinese, through Hasan Piker, have made some valid points here. I mean that seriously. Why should, like, for instance, China does not allow foreigners to come to their country and denigrate, insult, tear it down, and try to destabilize it. Oh, that seemed like a smart idea. Oh, yeah, maybe America should try that. Hasan Piker, Mr. Anchor baby citizen who spent most of his life in Turkey and then came over here again, you know. Maybe there's a valid point to be had in that. We'll expand on that in a second. First of all, I do want to show you how the bullying here simply continues, because once Hasan Piker gets back to the hotel room, apparently, as you can see, Hasan Piker appears to casually reveal here that a random guy just walked into their hotel room. And it sounds a lot here like the Chinese police, as you can see with the wires and all that stuff, are bugging their rooms. Yeah, very normal and cool vacation. Okay, so check this out as well.
You mean when somebody pulled into our hotel room? And it was just an employee?
What?
Remember when that guy walked into our room?
Wait, what do you mean?
You don't remember?
Oh, yeah, that was scary. That was weird.
You just saw the black glove?
I was like, they're assassinating me. Oh, that's the Apple tag, watch out.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, hello, Mr. Hasan. I am just a maid. Do not worry about me. Ah, okay. Have a good day. Bye-bye now. Dude, it's such a totally normal vacation, right, guys? You know? Hasan Piker will call America a police state and just be like, oh, that's weird. Oh, yeah, the government was just spying on me? How strange. Don't they know I'm an ally? Don't they know I'm woke, you know? We love China. Black Lives Matter. I'm one of you guys. What's the matter? Oh, it's almost like, again, don't meet your heroes. You went there and you're not very accepted, are you? It doesn't look like they like you very much, Hasan. Again, maybe they have a point, you know. Maybe I respect the Chinese just a little more after this, okay? But that said, all right, so basically it gets to the point after they've now bugged his room, they're shaking him down, they're detaining him in the middle of Tiananmen Square. He reveals that his team are now working with the Chinese Communist Party themselves to, quote, pre-clear all of his live stream appearances. So in other words, as you know in China, right, he does not have his free speech to go just stream whatever he wants. And now he has to get his content pre-approved by the government. Okay, so check that out.
Say something, okay? China is very big, and so is its government, okay? And from what I understand, and I'm not entirely certain of this, but a lot of the stuff that we're doing, we're getting checks. We're not, we're getting pre-clearance. We're not just fucking rolling up, chatters. Okay? We're not just going, what's up, everybody? The thing that we did in Tiananmen Square, that is actually, at least being able to live stream that was a very unique experience. Okay? Checks they're paying you. No, dumbass. Checks as in pre-clearance. We're checking everything and getting assurances beforehand.
The Chinese would never pay Hasan Piker, okay? They think he's an idiot. They don't even want him there. Hasan Piker is probably paying the Chinese, if anything, if he was, right? To please let me into your country. Oh, yeah, no, absolutely not. You think the Chinese would ever pick this guy to be their undercover spy? Come on now. They know better. They're smart.
Okay, we have an entire team on the ground. Nowadays, whatever I do on the stream, it's I could have the best time ever, but let's say I stubbed my toe while I was walking by something, they'll clip me stubbing my toe and be like, Hasan almost dies. Hasan almost gets killed by the Chinese government or whatever the fuck. And then they'll blow that shit up. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, no, Hasan, I totally agree. I just can't imagine why people would have so much controversy and things to say about the things you do while you're on stream. It's just a vibrating collar. Kaya. I am going to China to learn the way of the socialism. You have to be a good dog, or I will give you to a Chinese wet market. But you know, okay, yeah, there you essentially have it, right? So it's gotten to the point where he has to ask for permission for the government. The government is spying on him. They're detaining him. Although, I mean, guys, if we're to be honest with ourselves, it may not be for the reason he was hoping, but I think that Hasan Piker's propaganda tour in China was actually incredibly effective. Because I now, for instance, personally respect the Chinese government a lot more after watching this because of the way they treated Hasan Piker, right? Like, that was amazing. That's amazing. Why can't we do this? Why can't we do this every time that he streams, you know? Mr. President, President Trump, if you only had the courage, okay? No, this is why China beats us. I'm serious. This is why they're ahead of us, because they're just like, shut up, you will not to stream here. And it's very simple for them. It's like common sense. Who is this idiot? Why is he here? No, like we're gonna basically try to deport him and stop him from streaming and make sure he doesn't make us look like an idiot. Like, this is why they're ahead. This is why they're winning. All right? we should take notes. And that's what Hasan Piker wants, right? Hasan Piker's like, America should learn from China. We should mimic China. Oh, you don't say. Oh, okay. Okay, you know, good job. So I would say to President Xi, you know, you want to improve diplomatic relations. You know, you're having a good time. You want, you know, Trump to like you more. You want Trump supporters to like your country more. All right, keep up the good work. Okay, keep up the good work with this. But, you know, no, in all seriousness, I mean, this is a debate I sometimes have with progressive people, kind of the hard left socialist communist types in America, which is they'll do this very thing. Right? They'll display, for instance, China, and they look at like Chongqing, right? The cyberpunk city with all the lights, or the high-speed rail and all this stuff, and they'll say, why doesn't America have this? See, this is proof that socialism or communism are actually effective. And it's like, first of all, you know, the reason, and this is something it's really frustrating actually, how Western progressives will go to countries like China, even South Korea, Japan, Singapore, Taiwan, and then be like, wow, things run so efficiently. Wow, the public infrastructure is so good. And then not understand the reason why, right? Why do you think the streets are so clean? Why do you think the streets are so safe? It's actually very simple. Because they have very low tolerance for, first of all, open borders, mass immigration policies. There basically is very little to no permanent immigration in any of these countries. Number one, leftists. Do you miss that part? Oh, China's so amazing. Yeah. Wonder why? Wonder why it's such a high trust society. That's a big mystery, right? And then secondly, when it comes to crime policy, yeah, they just straight up do not have tolerance for it, right? You do anything, you steal, you commit a small crime, like you're going to jail. Like there's none of this bull crap of like, oh, you know, maybe they're a troubled youth or something. So it's another, frankly, example of how the woke progressives don't even understand the countries they glorify so much. But secondly, right, why the things that work in these countries would never work in America. I try to explain this to people all the time. It's like, you wonder why free buses won't work in New York City, right? Because you have open borders and you have like an open society where all the violent criminals, instead of being institutionalized, are out in the streets. They don't do that crap in China. They don't have freaking, crackheads or migrants or any of these freaking problems. And that's why these things work, right? Certain progressive policies can work. Public works can function. You can have good infrastructure. You could totally have high-speed rail, Gavin Newsom. But in order for that to happen, you would first of all have to stop allowing DEI to run your infrastructure projects. And then secondly, for those things to be safe and usable, yeah, it would have to have a high trust society, you know? And this fool is going to go to China and spend so much time and not understand. He's not going to understand why. It's so clean. It's so modern. What's going on? That's number one. And then secondly, right? They make the argument, oh, it's because of the communist economy. Well, that's not true either. That's not true either. Actually, as a matter of fact, the reason China is a wealthy nation today, it was terrible. It was a poor backwater hellhole, basically, under Mao Zedong. But of course, it's been modernized. Why? Because Deng Xiaoping And the Chinese leaders since basically liberalized their economies, right? You could call it state capitalism. I'm not saying it's total free market, but basically state capitalism. They wanted to allow more free enterprise. And guess what they started doing? Trading with capitalistic countries like the United States. And, you know, they do deserve credit, I guess, because they reinvested a lot of that money, yes, back into their cities, back into their infrastructure. But at the end of the day, it's literally market capitalism, or a form of it at least, that made these guys rich and is allowing the money now to build all this infrastructure that they're saying, oh, that's so amazing. Communists build this. No, communism didn't build it. Okay. You want to see what communism built? Go look at like Soviet infrastructure in Eastern Europe, right? That's what communism built. What you're seeing now is basically state capitalism and, you know, autocracy, I guess, in a sense. It's actually kind of ironic because you could say, like, the modern Chinese system is a lot closer to fascism than it is to communism. And like, yeah, to some degree, because they don't have democracy in that country, you could also make a case that, well, their leaders have had time to plan over decades, and that's why they're kind of taking over and stuff like that now. But, you know, even then, right, all you leftists who worship China, you also worship democracy. Oh, social democracy. So it's like, it's a giant contradiction, right? Because they think China is the shining example of everything they want in society, yet like everything they support, whether it's immigration, whether it's democracy, whether it's their crime policy, or all this like utter open society nonsense that is literally like, would shock Chinese people to say that that's what people believe, right? Is the reason why their ideas fail, right? So, but anyways, though, guys, there you essentially have it. That is Hasan Piker. His original trip to China didn't go so well. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section down below. And until next time, God bless and peace. You would know how to speak a Chinese yet? Ding 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 ding. I'm Hasan Piker. I love the Chinese. They racially profile me, but it's okay. Such an idiot.